We often see many players hit the line umpire, break rackets, and throw one tantrum after another. But here are a few tennis pros who humbled their opponents with their sportsmanship. Number 1. ATP Cup Tournament. During the ATP Cup clash between Serbia and France, things got messy when Nick, who was at World No. 29, started to make fun of Djokovic from the stands. The internet was taken over by rage seeing how Kyrgios heckled every mistake made by the 16-time Grand Slam champion. Until March of that year, Kyrgios was on his best behavior with a suspension of 6 months. Well, we are talking about his behavior in court. But off the court? Not so much, it seems. It wasn't the first time Kyrgios had attempted to humiliate Djokovic. He was seen in a podcast saying Djokovic had a sick obsession with wanting to be liked like Roger Federer. He also said, this whole celebration thing that he does after matches, it's like so cringeworthy. But everyone appreciated how humble Novak Djokovic was and the way he reacted to Kyrgios' antics. He said, "To be honest, not really. I didn't see him in the stands, but then I saw the videos after that on social media. I know he's a good buddy with France's Gaël Monfils and with the French team, so, it's fine. I think it's entertaining to have him or to have any other player coming out, to have a well-known player coming out to see other teams and other matches. I think it attracts a lot of attention, and I think brings excitement to the people in the stands, but also the viewers." While it shows his humility, he did brush it off saying, "And Kyrgios knows how to have fun and how to attract attention, that's for sure." The fact that he didn't retaliate or trash talk, but rather he chose to kindly reply to him. The fact that he was labeled an idiot didn't sit well with Serbian fans who weren't as forgiving as Djokovic. Number 2, Grigor Dimitrov versus Kyle Edmund. Dimitrov not only won the match, but 1,000,000 hearts with his act of humility. In modern tennis, he is certainly called a gentle. During the Brisbane International quarterfinals, his opponent Kyle Edmund was injured. He had a heavy fall on the court. Kyle cried out in pain, and Dimitrov quickly dropped everything and rushed over to check on the Briton. At this moment, the duo were at 4-4 in the third set of a tight quarterfinal. This gesture of Dimitrov was much appreciated by everyone. Number 3, Carlos Alcaraz. It's quite rare for an ATP player to grant his opponent a replay based on a bad umpire call on reaching the ball. Considering how arrogant the current generation players like Tsitsipas and Zverev are, Carlos showed his class and humility, and Hurkacz was moved by that gesture. The ball was called not up by the umpire, and Hurkacz started arguing with the umpire and shouting that he reached the ball in time. Carlos then asked to replay the point, and it was much appreciated by Hurkacz, who was angst against the bad call. What makes this special is that Alcaraz was losing 6-5 and serving in the first set, and this was a critical moment and an important point. He also had an easy volley straight after a drop shot to win the point. Now you can say he is the real deal. We now know who is replacing the big three, don't we? Number 4, Rafael Nadal's moniker of being composed and respectful certainly took a bit of a dent. Sonego could be partly blamed for that since he asked for the roof on center court to be closed, which found a way to break Nadal's cool composure. For the first time ever, his serve was broken when Sonego yelled in the middle of a point when Nadal hit a good shot. Though this was not the first time we saw Nadal get annoyed by his opponent. The Mr. Nice Guy of tennis couldn't hold back, and he made it a point of giving him not-so-friendly advice about how to conduct oneself. He then went on to criticize him for making too much noise and grunting during the play. It unfortunately doesn't end here. He grabbed him after the handshake to lecture again, and it's rare to hear an athlete of that stature admit to making a mistake. It's very humble of him. Everyone, including Lorenzo, was moved by his graciousness. Number 5, Medvedev. Can we all agree that Medvedev is the ultimate enigma? Shows class considering how Medvedev gave the point to Sinner when it was a tight third set. And it looked like the umpire was struck by his gesture that he made sure everyone inside the court knew the awesomeness of what just happened. One can't deny that Medvedev is known for being rude to opponents and always having the crowd against him. Number 6. They say that sports don't build character, but rather reveal character. And when Hewitt serves the ball, the line judge calls it out of bounds. Sock, on the other hand, thinks that it's in and advises Hewitt to challenge the call. The high-speed footage shows that the call was indeed in which led Sock to lose the point. Everyone from fans to Hewitt was taken away by Sock's humble nature and sportsmanship. Number 7. Moving on. Next, we have Novak Djokovic versus Radek Stepanek, 2014. Novak does it again. He somehow always finds the smallest part of the line in those clutch moments. This surely can't be luck, can it? It's a skill. At least, I haven't seen anyone find the line that often from such ridiculous angles and at that pace. Putting his skill aside, we must take a moment to appreciate his sportsmanship in this crucial moment. It happened late in the 4th set, where both Djokovic and Radek Stepanek were precisely at 5-5. And to add to this, Djokovic was leading 2-1 in sets. The moment when Stepanek was ruled out right before Novak Djokovic hit the ball into the net. He was 1 point from going up 6-5 in the set. Stepanek then challenged the call, and it showed that the ball was indeed in. But still, here's the tricky part of the story. The umpire called the replay of the point, thinking Djokovic could have played that shot since the call was made in a position where he could. But to almost everyone's surprise, Novak conceded the point, which meant that he couldn't have returned the shot. Everyone in the crowd, especially Radek Stepanek, was moved by his humility and sportsmanship. Number 8. Nadal hits Novak Djokovic right in the face. Before you go down your train of thought, it's still debatable if it was intentional or not. But we must take a moment and appreciate the way Djokovic reacted. This happened during the Rogers Cup Montreal 2013. Many argue that it's a legitimate shot, and the drop shot there was given little too much air. It was so much that there was no choice for Nadal to take that shot. What else could you do in that position there? Djokovic would be mad because he hit his head. Well, no one likes getting pegged in the face, but how he held himself back and his anger shows one's composure and humility. Nadal too apologized for it. That's all for this video. If you have enjoyed watching the video, like and subscribe for more interesting updates.